What's up, Justin? How you living today?
I'm good. How are you?
I am so good, man. I am so glad to have you on the Hetty Coleman podcast. The goal is for me to at least once a month just be able to sit down with a teacher. I'm going to call it Teacher Tuesday.
Okay.
And I just share a conversation that I have with a teacher around the classroom and the impact that you all are making with students in your community.
Okay.
Just kind of start out though. Just tell me your story. Tell us a little bit about who you are.
All right. Like I said, I'm Justin Stevenson. I was born and raised here in Guthrie. Graduated in class of 2000. Coming up my 20-year reunion coming up this fall.
Okay.
Went to Oklahoma State University. Also, in backup, I played sports for Guthrie. Went to Oklahoma State University. I've been a child welfare worker, DHS worker, police officer, and now I'm currently teaching at Hefner Middle School in Oklahoma City.
That's cool. Now, OSU, how'd you end up at OSU?
Family went there.
Okay.
My cousin Tori went there, and a lot of Guthrie kids went up there. It was close to home, so
Did you grow up as an OSU fan?
None of us really grew up OU or OSU fans back then.
Okay.
OSU, to me, OU and OSU weren't any good as far as sports in the 90s, so I was a big Florida State fan. I know friends with Michigan fans, things like that.
Yeah.
So my cousin went there in 97, started going up there, hanging out a little bit and going to games and stuff, and just liked the campus.
Because now you all are diehard. Like,
oh, yes, sir. It's all about the orange. They're every home game, every Saturday.
Now, do you have season tickets? Yeah, because I see you at the games. Do you have season tickets?
Yes.
Okay. So how long have you had season tickets now?
Man, probably 5-6 years. I don't know. It's been a while.
Okay.
Yeah. So
are you gonna be one of those people like have them for the rest of your life? Like
that's the plan.
Yeah.
That's
now, do you do basketball and football?
No, I haven't been back to a basketball game since I left OSU in 2005.
Okay.
Team kind of went down, but I keep up with them still.
Yeah.
So hope next year is supposed to be pretty good.
When I was growing up, OSU was they were typically really good in basketball. Like they were better in basketball than football.
Right.
But we had our Barry Sanders, Thurman Thomas.
Yeah.
We had those days which were like incredible.
See, back then I didn't really care for OSU. Then used to go back and forth with my Uncle Edward. He was all OSU, and I loved Mike Gaddis. Running back for OU. I loved him. So it kind of came later on in life about high school.
Yeah, I was bummed when Mike Gaddis hurt himself.
Yeah,
and was not able to finish out his career.
Yeah,
so because we had some really high hopes for him as a OU running back.
Right.
So,
yeah, I remember him getting hurt. Yes,
sir.
I was young.
So now, when you were in school, what were some things like when you were younger that you imagined yourself being? Because it sounds like since you've been old enough to get jobs and develop a career and things like that, they've all been in the service-oriented field.
Yes,
DHS, a police officer.
Right.
What were you thinking when you were a kid you would be?
Well, when I was a kid, of course, everybody wants to be athlete, but I knew, hey, you short, you don't weigh that much, but you can run and jump and all that stuff. You just don't have the height and all that stuff to go with it. So coaching was always there. When I was in high school, I started helping Coach McIntubby. When I was a junior, I believe, helping coach his son that was in third grade through the YMCA here in Guthrie. And my little cousin Stanton was on the team too. So after that, I just started reffing every year. So the time I was a junior, started driving, I was reffing for Guthrie YMCA, and I've done it all the way through college.
Okay.
Just come back on Saturdays and ref still. So, but of course, growing up, saw Coach Bennett, saw Mr. Young, like, man, who would want to be Mr. Young? Who wouldn't want to have that job as the AD? So it was always in the back of my mind, but got to college and kind of ran away from it. Yeah. And now here we are.
Wow. Okay. You were DHS, police officer. Like, how did you end up in those fields?
Well, like you said, I've always been a person that wants to help people. So got into DHS probably a couple of years out of college.
Okay.
So I was a permanency planning worker at first, dealing with kids in foster care and bio parents. Then I transferred to Logan County, and I was doing investigations.
Okay.
So I'm like, well, I'm doing this investigation, going in these dangerous situations. All I have is a pen.
Yeah.
I might as well be the police officer, at least have something else to protection. I'm going in these situations. All I got is a pen and the clipboard.
Which I guess they're kind of similar, right?
Yes, kind of in a way. They're both doing mainly a lot of talking. If you know how to talk to people, you can diffuse the situation. Like, I never really had any altercations in either field.
Yeah.
Even police, and I tell people all the time, I said, nobody really ever messed with me. You know, I roll up, you know, I was always calm on the scene. So some other people might come and hype the scene up, but I never really had any issues. Even when I would arrest people, I always say they had a good time in the car.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, hey, you didn't break the law. I mean, you broke the law. I'm just enforcing the law. I don't have anything against you and like that. So what you want to listen to?
You don't even know them.
Yeah, I don't know you, you know. So most time they would try to get them to laugh, you know, and they would laugh. Or on times I take county trips, go from Midwest City to the county. What you want to listen to? I already played, and good luck to you, you know.
Yeah.
Like I said, you didn't do anything to me.
So what did you learn that, like, when did you first realize, like, how I would communicate with people probably could determine how the situation it would go about, like for people to be cool with you versus it getting out of hand?
I just feel like I've always shown myself, even junior high school. I'm thinking back, I never really had any issues with people. Mm-hmm. You know, I treat everybody the same. Yeah. Treat everybody the same. That's how I go about it.
Yeah. Now, going back to the coaching thing, because we live in the same town, we're here in Guthrie, America. Now, I've seen you, especially when you had your kids were younger, coaching the YMCA. Right. I even tried to, you know, I would bring my son to get him to, bring Zell to come. What is it that you get out of that the most? Like, because I felt like you watched them and did it for a while.
Right. Oh, yes, definitely.
Yeah.
If somebody wants to do it, you know, I'm very determined. Like I said, I love sports, football and basketball were my two sports. I feel like I was equally good in both of them, you know. So it's just, but basketball, like I said, helping Mazel, it takes so much practice time on your own. You got to be individually, got to be the dribble and all those things. Yeah. And if someone's dedicated and wants to do it, you know, I'm all for trying to help them out, you know, whatever I can help them get better. And I feel like, not to be a knock, that I had some bad coaching growing up, and I didn't want that kids that I had that I could touch to go through that. Yeah. Went through a lot of losing in high school on the football field, and I wanted to ensure that my kids or relatives or whatever didn't have to go through that. Yeah. So I did my best, and when I coached for the Guthrie Little League football, we never had a losing record. And where I'm at now, we have a winning record. Yeah. So I put everything I can into it. I treat it like a professional job. I don't get paid. Well, now I do. I didn't before, but I didn't get paid for it. But I treat it like it's a profession.
For sure. And so now you're currently teaching.
Yes, sir.
And you've been teaching for how long now?
This is my third year.
Okay. What have been some things that you didn't know before going into actually teaching? You've been teaching for a while, like teaching sports and things of that nature.
That's why it was kind of easy. That's why it was kind of easy transition, because I look all the way back to high school. It's kind of easy transition. Well, like I was saying to you earlier, kids are just different. You know, like I said, I started as sixth grade teacher, elementary teacher at North Holland Middle School in Oklahoma. No, not middle school, elementary. North Holland Elementary in Oklahoma City. Shout out to Rufus Howard for getting me into that. I started off there because I saw the news July 2017. I was watching 10 o'clock news, and I saw the schools about to close down in Oklahoma City. They were in need of teachers, and they had about 20 days till school to start. So I'm like, man, maybe I can help. Looked on Facebook, saw Rufus on Facebook doing a Facebook Live.
And who is Rufus?
Rufus was the school secretary, administrator there. Okay. But he grew up there, and that was his baby. Mm-hmm. That school was his baby, and he wanted to make sure it stayed open. Next thing I know, Terry Bennett Jr. knew him. Reached out to Terry Bennett. He took basically with Rufus. Next thing you know, it's a Monday. I'm interviewing. By Friday, he's calling me. Hey, you want to teach? What you mean teach? I went there trying to do some counseling or something like that. Oh, okay. And he's like, no, we need you in the classroom. I said, I've never taught before. He's like, that's all right. We need you in class. We got you. Yeah. So within about 20 days, boom, August 1st, 2017 came. I'm in the classroom, lost. Like, what am I going to do with these kids? You know, but like you said, it just went back to the coaching and just being around kids. And I don't know, kids kind of gravitate to me for some reason. I don't know. People try to say, oh, just mean. No, I'm just a way. I expect things done a certain way. Yeah. You know, and those kids drew to me. Yeah. So
that's cool. What have you found has allowed for you to have the most success in teaching? Like, what are some concepts or some ways that you feel like, man, this really has helped me be able to get these kids to understand the things that I'm teaching them?
I think you got to have classroom management. So I think I'll go back to the coaching with the uniformity.
Yeah,
it goes back to that. If you have that, you can give them to do what you want to do.
Yeah.
And if you take the time to form relationships with them.
Okay.
Like I said, I'm very personable. I show them my personality. I always tell them day one, I'm going to act accordingly. It's up to you.
Yeah.
I can be like this, or I can be like this. It's up to you. It goes on a daily basis. So, and I try to do things to relate to them, like the way I dress. Mondays is my dress up day for the most part. Most time I wear a suit on Monday, but I might throw some tennis shoes on with it to show them you can do both.
Yeah.
I'm not going to a lawyer's office, a doctor's office, or a courtroom like that, so I can do those type things.
Yeah.
Or I may throw a jersey on one day or whatever. Just things like that helps you relate to the kids.
Yeah.
And, they like it.
Yeah.
I even had a kid draw a picture of me in a suit with tennis shoes on. I posted it on Facebook. You might have seen it. They said, "Oh, Mr. Stevenson think he's cool. I got my suit on with my tennis shoes." Things like that. So I left that mark on that kid from last year.
Yeah. That's cool. That's cool. And so I hear you say one of the things that you're doing is being able to manage your classroom, but then you also said build relationships with them.
Yes.
What are some other ways outside of maybe being able for them to relate to you? Because you may have on the J's, right?
Right.
Or, the right sneakers, and they can be like, oh. Also, maybe when you talked about being a police officer,
right?
Turning on the music, you know, like, okay, what music you want to listen to?
Right.
Let me connect with you through that. Right. What are some other ways you found to connect?
Thinking of music, I started playing music in my classroom. I started with Christmas music back in November. So then we got back in January. I was like, man, it's quiet in here. What's going on? And the kids, I said, y'all missed the music? I was like, yeah. So I just found some jazz or instrumental music to play. But today, even the principal came in and she wrote, and I was like, oh, I like that. Yeah. So now my whole teaching team is doing it.
That's
things
cool.
like that. But
now, what does that look like? Are you playing it while you actually teaching, or is it doing?
The speaker's kind of low. It's just kind of right.
Okay.
So then while they're doing their work, you still hear the music.
Okay.
But again, going back to it, what I do the first day of school, I tell my story to the kids. How I grew up, single parent home, mom passed away, and I was in high school. So I'm you.
Yeah.
You're me. I know y'all going through the same situation.
Yeah.
So that breaks the barrier right there. And if you need to come talk to me about that, pull me to the side. Yeah. So that right there kind of knocks it out. And I tell them about the police stuff, and I try to teach them survival skills. Last year, I had my good friend Kelsey Frazier come in from Oklahoma County on career day and set a display up and do police stuff, teach them stuff. So I just tell them I've been in all type of walks of life, been through a lot of different things. So there's probably nothing you can tell me that I haven't heard or seen or done. I've been 11, 12 years old as well, you know, already, and I know what you're going through.
Yeah.
So it's kind of easy in a way if you open yourself up.
Yeah. And become vulnerable.
Vulnerable, yep.
Like once you lay that out there, because kids can be mean.
Yeah, oh, very.
And if they see an open door, they'll jab back and forth. Yeah. And that's cool.
And they are a lot meaner nowadays than they were, 15, 20 years ago?
Yeah.
25.
Yeah.
25 years or so ago when I was that age. A whole lot meaner. Things I would never say to a teacher, you old bald head, this. I'm like, are you serious? What? They do that. They're that bold.
Just straight up disrespectful.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
It's like, Tupac was bald. Jordan's bald. I'm fine. I'm good with it. So they don't understand that.
Yeah. So you coming out and just kind of sharing your story, I always say one of the reasons I love having a podcast and doing what I do is because I feel like when people share their story, there's things that we're hearing people's stories that allow for us to connect with one another.
Yes, sir.
And so that's really interesting that you say, hey, man, the first thing that I do is open up with a story because you've learned that when you do that, they find some commonalities with you and then they can relate to you.
Right.
Even so you're going back to that being relatable to them. Like, oh, you had a single mom, or oh, man, you had to live with your grandparents, or you had a mom pass away. So then that way,
and while
kids are connect with you for different reasons.
Right, and while I'm telling that story, I stop, say, raise your hand if you can relate. Anybody this?
Oh, that's good.
And just do it.
Yeah,
all the time.
That's really good. Can you share a story like with as far as one of your students and like something that's been memorable for you, like a teacher to student kind of story? I know you just talked about one of the students drawing you.
Yeah, and they've been doing that. Man, there's so many. With my first year, I'm always going to remember those kids from North Highland because the first day of school I only had like 6 or 7. I thought they were going to combine the class. One kid wrote a note to me.
What did you say? You only had 6 or 7 kids in the classroom?
For the first few days because they just trickled on in.
And then how many did you end up with?
They're going to get rid of me. I think like 18 by the end of the year.
Oh, okay.
By the end, it would go up to 22. It just keep dropping. It was in and out, revolving door. Mm-hmm. But I can remember a note from one kid over there saying, how I was the first male teacher he's had. I was his favorite teacher. I'm there learning. And he's like, I've never liked school before. So they were touching. I've had several notes like that. I try to post them on Facebook so people to see, what we're really doing. So things like that. But that letter really sticks out to me.
Yeah.
I can remember the kid's name right now.
That's cool.
I always wonder where he's at. And I don't know if you ever remember the video of me posting a little 4th grade kid that used to just come to me every day. Uh-huh. He used to just chase me around the school. Yeah. And I wonder where Xavier is to this day,
Yeah.
So he would be 6th grade by now, and I worry about those kids from over there, and just never know what's going to happen to them or where they are. Mm-hmm. So, we lose contact. But
one of the things that we talked about earlier, which I think kind of goes back to why you may have those kind of why kids following you, because maybe they don't have a father in the home, and maybe your story or something like that, they connect with you. But I think it goes back to like the parenting in the home, and you and I talked about before we started recording parent involvement.
Right.
Like, what does that look like for you at your school, and what are some things that you've done that kind of allow for you to have some success?
Right. So it's kind of a mix. We have some good, and then we have some that kind of wait to where it's almost too late. Well, why didn't you contact me? Well, we're doing the best we can. I have 100 students, plus the other 40 on the football team, plus the 400 that I seat by myself every day for lunch duty. Mm-hmm. It's kind of hard to get to you sometimes. But we have power schools, something like we set up here in Guthrie, where the parents can check the grades, but sometimes I just wait too late or on the email or whatever. So you have your good parents. You have some that, kind of just treading water, you know. So which I know they're busy and have things going on as well. We all do. So sometimes we can drop the ball, and so can they. So it's kind of on both sides. But the parent involvement at Hefner, where I'm at, is better than it was at the other school I was at.
Okay.
Yeah.
How important is that? How important is it for me to be involved with my kids?
We need you. We definitely need you, because that helps with the classroom behaviors. Mm-hmm. Because sometimes, I'm not the most one that shows a lot of sympathy or has a lot of empathy. Yeah. Hey, I'm sleepy too. Yeah. I was up last night. The pig woke me up last night. Yeah. You sleeping? I'm tired too. Yeah. I bet y'all been up longer than you. So I try to tell them that too. I don't want to just say, hey, I know you probably had a rough night. We all have rough nights. Yeah. We all have things going on in our lives, but we got to keep pushing through. So I try to instill that in them. Hey, we got to push through. Yeah. We got to push through, because society's not going to always care. We always can't take pause or a time out and wait. Mm-hmm. The world keeps spinning. We got to keep going. What can we do to keep going? Yeah. So I try to get that into them.
Now, we're going to have to take a side note real quick. This pig thing, man.
What's wrong? I'm gonna leave Shuri alone. That's the baby. She'll be 2 years old.
What made you be like, I'm going to get a pig as a pet and let it be inside the house, man?
It wasn't me. The things you do for love. So it wasn't me. So once we got her, that's the baby. You just love her now. Yeah.
So had you known anybody else who ever had a pig?
No, but my aunts said they had one when they were kids. My aunt Bobby said they had one when they were a kid, and next thing you know, they ended up eating it at some point in time. They didn't know till later, but no,
that's what they were eating.
Yeah, so my grandpa did them kind of dirty, but nah, Shuri's the baby.
Oh, okay.
She'll be 2 years old March 19th.
March 9th, 2 years old.
Yes, sir.
And so this pig our pigs, do they potty train like a dog or what?
She was potty trained like 2 or 3 days. Smart. Okay. They can get to the intelligence of a 3-year-old. She's real smart.
And so I saw the videos where the pig's jumping in bed with you.
In the bed.
So the pig just sleep in the bed with you,
yes,
or what?
Sir. Sleeps in the bed.
This is the craziest thing ever. My daughter wants a pig, and I'm like, "Are you? We are not getting no pig.
Get it? You'll be in love with it too."
So like, what do y'all like? How do you play with the pig? Is it the same way like you would play with a dog, or
she kind of just roams freely on her own?
Yeah.
You know, she likes to cuddle with you. She likes to cuddle and be babied, but you can't touch her unless she gets on you. Like if you just go up to her and start petting her, she's gonna start making noise, going crazy.
Really?
It depends, yeah. But if you have food, you know she wants to eat all the time. She's fun, though, so don't knock it. Try.
So have you had a dog before?
When I was young, when I was real young, but
she don't know the cost of like you wouldn't be able to say I think a pig's more expensive than a dog.
Maybe it probably depends on the dog. Probably depends on the type of dog, the breed you get. Yeah, but she's smart though.
Okay.
She don't have to sleep in the bed. It just some mess that happened.
Yeah.
You know, so now there she is.
Tell me about a teacher that made an impact on your life growing up.
Man, there were several. You know, Miss Love, just passed away. She's my third grade teacher. I went to the funeral on Saturday and just sitting there listening to the stories because I was in Eugene Reeves was there. He was my student teacher. You know, he's already gone through teaching and he's already retired. They're both retired. And like I said, she passed away. And just hearing the stories that was told there, like she dressed up every day.
Yeah.
She was sharp every day. And I was like, hey, I'll do it on Mondays.
Yeah.
Well, I can say I get dressed all week long, but Mondays is the day I really put emphasis on it. You know, and like I said, we had Mr. Harrison Junior High. Miss Jarning was my favorite. She was my 6th grade teacher. I had her as a student teacher in 5th grade, but Mrs. Jarningen was my 6th grade teacher. And she kind of loved me. She loved me.
Yeah.
You know, I was kind of special. Those are the main ones.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. What was it about them that you feel like really spoke to you and gave you that connection?
Well, Mrs. Love, you know, that was kind of like having a grandma. It's like she was like a grandmother teaching the class. You know, my uncle had been in there and Des had been in there, so I kind of knew.
Yeah.
So definitely, you definitely didn't act up in there.
No,
you knew. So I'm saying, so it was like having a grandmother or a parent.
Yeah.
You know, I also had Joanne. Then I had Mrs. Washington after that. So I had good teachers. Flowing right back to back. You know.
Yeah.
So
that's good. If you could change one thing about education, what would that be?
Man, probably the testing.
Okay.
We focus so much on teaching to test instead of really getting to make sure they learn. It's always teaching the test. The test. All right, we have 28 days to get you this. So hope you can pass this test. You know, I think we need to do away with some of that and let us do more teaching and then test.
Yeah.
Let the teachers make the test. You know, it's something, my district I'm at, they give us the information.
Yeah.
And I tell the parents, hey, I didn't have anything to do with, you know, I have provided the information. I'm trying to get it to them the best I can, go in different ways I can, you know, but as far as the test, I didn't write it.
Yeah.
You know, I let the kids know that too. Hey, good luck today. I didn't write the test. You know, I didn't do it, you know, so some stuff may be hard, but so.
Yeah. Finish this sentence for me. Teachers are.
We're definitely underappreciated. We're definitely not there for the money. We're almost like superheroes. We're the kids' uncle, aunt, dad, mom. We're all those things every single day.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good.
We are.
You get the opportunity to be a little bit of that every day.
Yes, and I try to do that. Like I said, the young girls at our school, a lot of them don't like me. It dates back to last year, and I was like, why don't these little girls like me at the school? I'm just in here in the cafeteria. Like I said, I do cafeteria duty.
Yeah.
And a lot of them don't like me. I don't know. I'm just standing here, and you don't like me.
Yeah.
And, you know, I think I kind of figured out what it is, but. You know, hormones and Mr. Stevenson think he's cool and all this stuff. Don't know how to express themselves and say, hey, I like your shoes.
Yeah.
I like this. Hey, you know.
Yeah.
But want to go about it in the wrong way and say something rude. You know.
Yeah.
So you got to have thick skin.
For sure.
This job is not for the weak.
Yeah.
I can promise you that, because nowadays they'll just pop off and say anything. You're like, what?
Yeah.
So,
is there anyone currently in your profession that inspires you?
No, not really. I mean, I'm very self-motivated.
Okay.
I really don't need a whole lot of inspiration. My family and friends and coworkers definitely keep me motivated.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't say that no one's really, as far as in the profession, right now.
Profession.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Describe how would you describe a conversation with a student?
Like I said, you just never know. You know, a lot of it's going to depend on the mood they may have put me in before. If it's somebody in class, you know, I don't like being interrupted. They know, hey, don't ask to go to the restroom during lesson time. You know, don't raise your hand. Like I said, you gotta set the boundaries in the ground rules day one. Yeah. You know, but man, you just never know what things these kids talking about nowadays. You try to, hey, you ain't even talking about that right now. You know, it's just you just never know. But in sports, my team, you know, you can talk to them a little bit different. Mm-hmm. You know, because you know it's aggressive, and football and all that stuff is different. So it's different from the classroom than the field. So you gotta have that on and off switch. Yeah, you know, like I tell them, I can be fun and have fun. I'm not that old. I know all these little silly dances and the music you listen to. Like I'll say a rapper's name or something like, Mr. Stevenson, you know that? Yeah. Well, yeah, boy. How old you think I am? Yes, I know all the same music that you know. You know, things like that. So you just never know. Like I try to talk to him about current things that are going on, like, you know, the whole Kobe Bryant deal is going on. So that was kind of emotional a few weeks back. And then today, you know, the memorial service was today. So it's kind of, here we are again. So talk to the boys about All-Star game and Super Bowl and all that stuff, but also get with the girls on things as well. How many?
So do you coach football and basketball?
I'm a 7th grade head football coach, and 6th grade can play up too. And I'm the 6th grade girls basketball coach.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So you get a variety of working with girls and boys in that.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. What is the difference between coaching basketball and football? Like, is there a different coaching hat that you put on?
Yeah. Football, to me, I always tell people football is way easier to coach than basketball. The reason being is because, you know, you got to put the whole 11 together. Basketball, if you have, they got to work so much on their own. Mm-hmm. Like this year, I didn't have my team wasn't as good as it was the first year. Last year, we were 10-0, scored 50 points a game. And this year, I had to really put my coaching on, you know, this year to get my girls going in a lot of player development. Mm-hmm. So that was challenging, but fun at the same time. Yeah. Football team been fortunate to have a lot of good players with them as well. But, you know, you have 1 or 2 guys that can go. Hey, you got to field the ball. Yeah. You know, but it just – I like watching the football. I like seeing the whole thing come together. Yeah. You know, it starts in August, ends – mid-October for us, so it's a longer season. Yeah. So I like putting the whole thing together. Yeah. I like coaching football more, most definitely.
Oh, you like football more?
Yes.
So at that grade, do you have an assistant coach?
Yeah, I had 2 assistant coaches.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. And then we have 8th grade staff too. So I had 6th grade and 7th grade combined. So I had 40 kids. And then 8th grade probably had about 25. But we all worked together for the most part. But in the game, you know, of course, it's separated. Okay. So, but I was, like I said, I was the head. I had 2 guys under me. Okay. Couldn't ask for a better group of guys to help out. Yeah. So, and when you get along and it all flows. Yeah. And I've been fortunate that left, even when I did it in Guthrie, I have Buell Haynes, Stanton, Stevenson, and Clayton Smith. We just gelled. Yeah. And we never had any issues, and the boys learned and loved, you know. Yeah. So those kids will be seniors coming up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
did y'all coach?
Yeah. Okay. We had them from 3rd grade all the way through 6th grade. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
So do you think that makes a difference? Because like you just said, that you only have 7th grade, and then you have the girls. It's just 1 year, right? You don't have. Well, I guess if you have the 6th grade boys,
I should have them again. Yeah. But you know, those parents like, hey, you moving up? Yeah. I don't know. That's up to the athletic director. You know. Yeah. So unfortunately, with the kids I had here, I was able to have them from. I had some. I was assistant coach in 2nd grade, so I had them from like 2nd through 6th grade. So luckily I was able to hand them off to Coach Bennett and Coach Porter, and everything flowed the same. Everything was pretty much what we already been doing everything. Yeah. But at my school I'm at now, my girls I had last year in basketball was so good, the parents was texting, "You gonna do it again? You gonna do it?" Nah, I'm staying in 6th grade. Because my season's over with in a month. That season goes all the way to February. I'm ready to go home. By that time, by August to November, I'm burnt out.
Yeah,
because it's nonstop.
Yeah. So football is your favorite. Basketball is a little different. Got 11, trying to mesh all those. What are some things like for those first year teachers, kind of going back to teaching? What is something like a first year teacher like you would give? What tip would you give them?
Like I was saying earlier, you gotta be strong. You can't be weak. You gotta have some management skills. If you have management skills and just work on that for a couple of weeks, sometimes a week, it just depends. Get that in before you try to start teaching anything. Yeah, it may say this is the deadline, stuff being taught and tested, but you can't teach anything if they're running around being wild. Yeah. So you got to be strong and be ready to be, like I said, they'll call you bald headed and this and that. You got to, be ready to take it. Or be slick and jab back. Hey, but you got to watch it. You can't go too hard on them, So just got to have some thick skin and you got to want to do it. You have to want to do it. Yeah.
Now, give me an example of what you mean. But I've heard you say manage the classroom a couple of times. Now, in my mind, I believe I know what you're talking about. Is there some examples of what it means to manage the classroom?
Like just simple things like, hey, you got to raise your hand and get out of your seat. Okay. Even if just simple as throwing something in the trash or going to get paper. Hey, can I sharpen my pencil? Yes, get up, sharpen your pencil. You need paper, raise your hand, you know where the paper's at. Just things like that. Yeah. And then if you're doing a group deal, you want to make sure they're not blurting the answers out so you can make sure everyone has the opportunity. Just little stuff like that. If you don't get the little stuff like that down.
Yeah. Now, how long did it take you to learn that? Because you didn't go into the classroom knowing that. Because you was kind of like.
It's just kind of like I used what I learned from coaching growing up.
True. Okay.
I just used that same mentality.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it just happened to work out. Yeah. Just treated it the same as, hey, you go in the classroom, but you go in the coach.
Yeah. Yeah. That's good.
So it worked.
That's good. What's been one of your biggest joys so far outside of maybe getting the letters? Is there something else?
Just watching and seeing the kids change. Like this summer, like saying those girls last year, those 6th grade girls that are now 7th graders, they just hated me. One girl told me in front of the principal, I let the principal come over there and told me in front of the cafeteria that she hated me. I didn't even have her in class. Only time I interacted with her was in the cafeteria. This summer, I was at Penn Square Mall about 2 or 3 before school started, walking. I was like, oh, here she comes. Like, I'm not even going to say nothing. We get close. Mr. Stevenson. I was like, whoa, come here. How's your summer been? Yeah. Good. Gave me a big hug. I said, okay, see you in a couple of weeks. And she's been great ever since. Speaks to me, hey, Mr. Stevenson, how are you? All the time now. I was like, well, maybe the light came on. Yeah. I said, all I was trying to do is show you the type of man to look for when you get older. Don't get you any bad situations. Don't be all this yelling and cussing and fussing that you're doing in the cafeteria, causing a big ruckus. Why? Yeah. Things like that. So that's a really touching moment over the summertime. That's cool. And then getting to school, and she's still that same way. Yeah. Now, she may be acting up somewhere else, but nothing with me anymore. Because I ask about her a lot. Yeah. And like, no, she's doing this. Oh, well, not with me anymore. Yeah. So that's good. Yeah. So just breaking barriers.
Yeah, that's cool. So that's an example of kind of how you saw this young lady change how she interacted with you. Sir. Is there some other stuff that you've seen, like from day one to come August to May? Is there a student that you've like, man, it was pretty amazing watching him or her transition?
Yeah, it's another kid on my football team. I mean, my uncle seen him play. I have Terry Jr. come and see him play. I mean, the boy can go. He just, home life is rough. And it's myself, the AD, the principal, we working on him. And he'll have a good couple of weeks, back up. Good month, fall off. But it's home. But he has everything in front of him. So we can just keep him on the right track. And I haven't heard anything lately about him. Yeah. So hopefully by May, he'll be kick it. And then by summertime, he'll be an 8th grader. So we've been doing it since 6th grade. Yeah. And if he can just rein his anger in somehow, he can go places. I mean, one of the best running backs I've ever seen. Yeah. You know? Yeah. So just things like that. We're just trying to, like I said, I couldn't care less about the lesson. You know, it has to be taught, but I'm trying to teach them survival skills on how to live. And I tell them that all the time.
Yeah.
I tell them in the cafeteria, tell them in the classroom, tell them in the hallway. I'm trying to teach you how to survive in the world.
Yeah.
And what parents can be taken away from you and it, like that, you still got to be able to survive. And I just try to show them, here I am, I made it. You can do the same thing. Everybody has a story. You just got to keep pushing through it.
Now, for those, so we'll post this on YouTube so some people will see you in the video. For the people who are listening on the actual podcast app or something like that, they can't see you.
Oh, okay.
But you're wearing red. And
yep, I got my red socks on too.
You got what?
Just
Let me.
Just for
Oh, come on, come on.
Yes, sir.
So, but the red for you there's a little bit more to it than that.
Oh,
you are in a fraternity.
Yes, sir. But red has always been my favorite color. You know, growing up a Blue Jay, we always wear blue.
Yes.
But a lot of me and my friends, red's our favorite color. But yes, I am a member of Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated.
Yeah.
Crossed Oklahoma State in fall 2002. So.
Why?
Man, it dates back to being a kid. I grew up at First Capital Apartments. A lot of the Langston students stayed over there. So I just met Kappas, Noops when I was a kid, and that was the only way for me to go if I was going to join a fraternity, you know. And it came about Oklahoma State University, and I had to do it.
That's cool.
You know, and then growing up, Mr. Kennedy's in the fraternity as well. You know, just a lot of great guys in this fraternity.
Yeah. So what did you get out of it?
Just networking, brotherhood. You know, our fundamental purpose is about achievement. So it's about achieving everything we do in every human endeavor in life. So that's what I strive to do. Like I said, everything that we stood for, I was already in me.
Yeah.
So fraternity didn't make me. I make the fraternity.
Yeah.
You know, so I keep just driving along on our mission.
Yeah. Where do you think you got your confidence from?
I don't know. It's just been there. I hear my dad was the same way growing up in Guthrie. It just, what you trying to say? Why you looking like that? I don't know. I just always had it. I've never been shy on confidence or whatever.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, because another thing you have on the Kapernick Pin.
Yes, sir.
And we know the history behind that or whatever.
Yep.
You're extremely vocal about what you believe and what you stand for.
Yes, sir. Been very vocal from the start.
Not everybody, and not just that. I think that I've seen you be vocal about other things too.
Oh, yes,
just
sir.
Very, very adamant about what you believe in. Like, do you try to help kids?
Yes.
Get to that place as well.
I try to help kids. I've told the stories in class. I've worn this pale pen for over a year now, you know, and actually he's part of my fraternity as well. You know, so I represent what he stands for and what he's talking about, and I try to make sure they get to hear the real and not what's been trying to be portrayed. Yeah, you know, and why he really done what he did and why he's still doing what he does. You know, hey, I've lost people in Guthrie that don't half want to talk to me no more or unfollow me on Facebook or things like that. Okay, well then that just lets me know that maybe you for these things or these things don't matter to you. Yeah. Well, you know, I'm still Justin. Yeah. The same Justin that you used to like. Yeah. That coached your kids and went to school with your kids and all that. Nothing's changed. Yeah. But these things matter to me. Yeah. You know, simple as that. And they should matter to you. Yeah. You know.
And two, I think in that, for somebody to say, if that matters to you, right? And if it didn't matter to somebody else, social justice or whatever, social justice should matter to everybody. Everybody should care about people having injustice done to them.
Right. Black,
white, Hispanic.
Exactly.
And sometimes you think that's the misconception that it's as though I may be standing for something, but they don't think that I would stand for it if it was a different group of people or situation. You know what I'm saying?
It could be that when they're like, oh, well, we thought he was this way. I'm still the same. Like I said, it doesn't matter what color they are. If they're being treated wrong, I'm going to stand for it. I'm going to stand up. Yeah. You know, it just happened to be black and brown people that he took a knee for. Yeah. And, you know, and that was out of respect. Remember, because at first he sat down. He talked with a guy from the military, and then he started taking the knee. Yeah. So it's like nothing was good enough. He could have stood. He could have took a knee. Even if he would have spoke out about it, somebody somewhere still would have found issue with it.
Yeah.
You know, so.
Do you think sometimes we let that override the bigger picture for what he was standing for? You know what I'm saying? I think the negative
the whole
sometimes
message got lost because they didn't want to hear it.
Yeah.
Oh, the flag, the flag, the
Yeah,
flag.
yeah.
You didn't listen to anything he said.
Yeah.
You know, and like I tell people, the flag can mean something different to other people. It doesn't mean everything to you. It doesn't make me less patriotic. Does it make me less American? I'm just as American as you.
Yeah.
But certain symbols mean different to other people.
Yeah.
You know? So, but I'm not disrespecting you. He's not disrespecting anybody. He's not calling anybody out their name, doing any of those things. He was getting called the names and all those different things and not listening to nothing he said.
Yeah.
So, of course, I'm going back my brother. I'm going back him.
Yeah.
There's some things that I didn't agree with, but for the most part, you know.
You didn't agree with Kaepernick?
Like the Castro shirt and all that stuff. But
Okay.
then again, if you go back to the history, I got to teach it in class. His education stuff was good.
Yeah.
As far as the education stuff. But it's just the rest. You know, it's everything is good and bad in a lot of things.
Yeah.
You know, people just want to educate themselves on it.
Yeah.
Just saw him, just respecting the flag. Okay.
Yeah.
Didn't listen to anything.
But mainly just going back to you being confident enough
Yes.
to address an issue that you believe in that may have not been popular, right? And I think sometimes that's hard for kids.
Right.
And it's hard for some adults too, like to address things that they may be passionate about because of the way somebody looks for them.
Right.
And so I was just wondering, like for you can't point to any specific thing. It's just kind of part of who you
just
are.
part of who I am. Yes,
but
sir.
sometimes, how do we teach kids that? You know?
I don't know. I just always try to teach mine in class, you know, stand for what's right. Just stand for what's right. And, you know, if you're going to do it, you can't let off of it.
Yeah.
You can't let anyone sway you one way or the other. If you feel passionate about something, as long as you're not being disrespectful about it, do you?
Yeah.
It's a way to do it.
Yeah.
Just don't. If you're not hurting anyone, physically hurting anyone, do you?
Is there training or something though to kind of go? So for example, let's say my son's a pretty popular kid, very good kid, makes great grades, whatever. For him to address something that he may be passionate about may not be easy for him because regardless of who he is as a person, how people see him, you know, he can still get teased at times.
Oh yeah.
So if those things, if he doesn't come off confident in himself, then that can kind of wear on him. Where somebody like you be like, that's just sweat off my back, you know, like whatever, let's keep going.
Yes, sir.
How do we? So I'm just trying to figure out how do we continue to position kids to learn that, because it's valuable, especially if you can do it, in a way that's respectful and still show love towards people. Right. I'm not saying that I want that to be something done in a disrespectful way.
Right.
I want it to be done to where, no, this is what I believe in, but I still respect you. I still love you. And I think that's what people respect at the end of the day.
Right.
Like at first it may be a little challenging for them.
Right.
But down the road, when they take that moment, they be like, man, Justin stood for that. He never disrespected me. I may not have believed in it. And I still may not, but I respect him for that.
Right. And
you know?
And that's what I hope.
How do we teach kids that?
Man, I just think it has to be in you, that you have to.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just something that's in you. Like I said, I've never been one to stray away from anything. Like in my family, or I always date back. I feel like I'm the only one that would challenge my grandpa. Everybody else was like they used to kind of be scared of me and him. I've always been little, from a kid.
Yeah.
You know, everybody said, "Oh, y'all just alike," but I always, if I had something, I spoke my mind, not in a disrespectful way, but I spoke my mind, and it just feel like I've always been this way.
Yeah.
And my mom was this way, if she just something she didn't agree with or felt needed to be said, it was said. Like I said, I don't do it in a disrespectful way. If I wear my jersey, I wear my jersey. Leave me alone.
Yeah.
I actually was a 49er. I like the 49ers. Just so turn out, oh, that's my frat brother, And if he would have won the Super Bowl that year when the pass got batted down, we'd be talking about something totally different right now. Mm-hmm. He would be on a team.
Yeah.
It's just all kind of craziness that came with it. Like I said, it was just misinformation. People that didn't want to hear it, didn't want to even think about it. Because I got in debates on Facebook with people in the town, educators in the town. Like, I can't believe you just said that. This in disbelief. Yeah. People I respected and that taught me in school. Yeah. And now I can't even have no respect for you anymore. Yeah. Because of things you said to me when I didn't disrespect you not one time.
Yeah.
Classmates, People stopped liking my pictures and all that. You know, it just seriously, it was
yeah,
like
it got real
you know,
quick.
got unfollowed and all that. Well, cool. You just let me know where you stand. You know, I said that could be me in the street.
Yeah.
Like I said, I was a police officer. That could be me getting shot.
Yeah.
You know, or taking a shot, or me getting pulled over and anything happening.
Yeah.
You wouldn't care about me, Justin, when I was at school with you. You know, you taught me, just stuff you gonna post on Facebook about it, not caring.
Yeah.
You know, things are different.
Yeah.
It just is. Black and brown people, we live a different life.
Yeah.
You gotta walk the line.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be that way, but it just is.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm gonna be me.
Yeah. No, that's cool. Hey, I just really interested in just that if there was anything that specifically helped you build that confidence and be able to
nothing
walk
nothing I can date it back to.
I will say, like, some of the stuff that I teach personality traits.
Mm-hmm.
Like, for example, there's the disc where there's a D, an I, an S, and a C personalities, and D's are more dominant, kind of take charge.
Yeah, I think I've definitely been that.
Yeah, and so then there's the colors: red, orange, yellow, purple, green.
Yeah, see, I've done it before.
Yeah, the red is more take charge, going to kind of challenge you. And so some of the things that we teach in that is kind of like, okay, if you're a red, be aware of this.
Right.
But the great thing for me, like, now if I can deal with a Justin, or I can deal with a person who's an orange or a yellow, because I've educated myself that people's personalities are different.
Right.
So now I don't take offense.
Right.
I'm a yellow. I'm one of those people who I want to have everybody like me, and I want to be that kind. Then I have some orange, life of the party kind of thing. Like, that's who I am.
Right.
Like, I'm completely different from a red.
Right.
Like,
I'm definitely not a yellow.
yeah, you're definitely not a yellow, right? But
Yeah.
in the right situation, we're all needed.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So on a team of 11, like, I need 11 different players to play these positions,
Right.
so we can accomplish things. And sometimes I think in that, when we don't make ourselves aware that people just have different personalities, and in those personalities, we got to know what's great about us, and then what to be aware of. You know,
Right.
And I've just learned that, so it doesn't bother me either way who that person is.
Right.
And I'm always just looking.
And
at
I think it may date back to being childhood in athletics. I was a point guard. I was a quarterback. You know, I was always in leadership positions and roles. I was the president of fraternity at Oklahoma State. I had to get up and speak in front of people. The fraternity become to the Stillwater, and I had to run the show. So things like that. So never really shied away from
taking charge.
Right.
Yeah.
But I really am kind of shy in a way.
No, I'm not going to discredit that. I'm not going to discredit that at all.
It's not the most comfortable thing, but someone has to do it. You got to do it.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think I understand. Like, us, again, just working with so many people.
Right.
I definitely know some people who's willing to take charge, but that don't mean that they're going to be the most. They're not going to be running down a parade hugging folks. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Like you.
Yeah, like me. Yeah, that's just not going to happen for some people. Even though in the right situations, they're going to take charge. They're going to stand up for what they believe in and things of that nature. So, which I think is great. But I just thought that I would definitely bring that out. Something that I've noticed in you that I appreciate.
Thank you.
I appreciate that when people are willing to take a stand on something that they believe in. And hopefully just do it in a very respectful way.
Yes, sir.
You can't do anything about the way people respond, right?
That's all it is.
Yeah,
it's a respectful way.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah. And I think we need to be able to challenge one another and think. If I ran for office, of course.
Yes, sir.
You know that, and so I ran as a Democrat. Then you have the Republican, you have the Independent, and it was always fun to be able to go talk to those people who, without even knowing me, had their opinion about what they thought that I believed in. But at the end of the day, man, for me, the bigger picture is always how can I love people, because at the end of the day, I want to see people get to heaven.
Right.
And I don't want to be the person who causes people not to, in the sense of like just being nasty and mean.
Right.
Because then we hold up our Christian flags and we're like, if that's what it means to be a Christian, I don't want that at all.
Right.
And so just always being aware of that. So. Cool, man. How can your community support you as a teacher?
Man, if anyone ever has any extra pencils or paper laying around, you can get them to me somehow, because we run through that weekly. Just keep encouraging. We need the encouragement to stay in the classroom because it can be difficult. Some days you like, man, is it 3 o'clock yet?
Yeah.
You know, you some days you're looking for that.
For
you know, because they push you to that limit. But
for sure.
just gotta keep staying the fight.
Come on.
Go back the next day.
That's good, man. Well, I appreciate you taking a moment.
Thank you for asking me to do it, man.
Jumping on and having a conversation with me. And so, again, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for hitting that play button for another episode of the Hetty Coleman Podcast. And as always, ladies and gentlemen, go win.